Hey people, welcome back to the channel. So first of all, I want to say thanks all of you guys, that because of you now we are 1400 family, and thank you so much for that. So that was the past, and now I'm gonna move forward. So as I asked you guys yesterday that if you guys will subscribe to my channel, and if you make it to 1400, I'm gonna make another video regarding the interview. So this video is about the interview with the embassy track, like how my interview went through. I know for some people this video might sound boring, but for some people they can relate with my journey, and they can this video might help them to in some way to get the scholarship, or in some way to guide how you can follow the process. Okay, so first of all, as you guys are applying these days, me too, I was worried. I was like you guys, like focusing on every single form and looking at every single section too carefully, like what if I make some mistake, what are the different documents I should send, whether these documents are enough to send, or should I put it into a different envelope. Some silly questions, like me too, I had those questions in my mind when I was sending these documents. But the only thing matters is the confidence. So if you have confidence, just send your documents. Don't think about this, like should I put it into one envelope, two envelope, three envelope. Doesn't matter at all. If your documents has that strength, that power, that can differentiate you from others, they will be considered, and you will be selected for sure. So you don't need to worry about these all technical things, and how you should send the documents and stuff like that. Like last time, I remember they didn't ask us to send any of the documents. I think they started after that year, because there were some people who brought just one copy of the document, like me, and they made like 3 copies in the front of me. They had a photostat machine in the office. They did it there. So you don't need to worry about these things. They are so kind and they are so helpful. I feel like even if you miss some document, they will contact you. I know if your CV, like your documents, has that power to get selected, they will of course ask you to send more documents or something. Okay, so that's all about this document thing. You can just put everything, whatever I explained and whatever you got from the guidelines. Please send all the documents to them, and just wait for the right time. So after you send the documents, these guys, they will contact you through email and will publish a list through email, and this list will go only to the people who will get selected for the interview. So for the ones who don't receive any of the email from MHRD office, that means they are rejected. They are not selected for the further process. So within 15 days or 20 days, if you get any notification from MHRD, that means you are going for the interview for sure. So there they will publish a list of like 200 to 250 people, I feel, because last time when I gave the interview, there were 8 seats to get selected, but that time those people published like 200 people for interview, and they have given the time for each interview. In the last video, I don't remember actually. Yesterday in the WhatsApp group, someone was asking me like how much time they took your interview. So for me, it was almost 20 to 25 minutes, I think. Yes, although they mentioned for 10 minutes in the list, like my timing was 12:50 in the afternoon, but my interview was at 4:30 or something like this. Yes, they got late because there were so many people, and every single person was taking at least like 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, that's how your interview will go. So the other thing is, how was the environment there? So I went there. I remember like I woke up at 8 in the morning, although my interview was like at 12 or 12:50, something like this. I woke up at 8 because I didn't know about where is the office. I went to, like, I don't have any relative in Delhi, so I went to some friend's house there, and like my friend's house. I didn't have any friend that time in Delhi. So yes, I went there, and then 8 o'clock I started searching for the office. Okay, so if you guys know Delhi, where how big Delhi is, then it's fine. But if you don't know, then I want to give an advice to you right now, that please check the office location before going to the MHRD office, because there are two offices. I remember that time, I don't know if now they merged into one, but that time there were two offices and I went to the another office mistakenly. Even the auto drivers and the other people, they didn't know where I wanted to go. Even I showed the whole address they mentioned in the announcement, I showed to them, but I couldn't find the office on the right time. So my interview was 12 and I left the home at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I reached almost like 11:40 or 11:50 because I couldn't find the office that time. So that's the first advice I want to give for all the people, all the lucky people who will be selected for the interview. So that's the first advice. Okay, the second thing, how was the environment there? When I went there were so many people, and trust me, they were looking too studious. Everyone had some kind of books in their hands. I don't know what were the studies they were doing that time. Like for me, I was just prepared for some genuine questions, like they could ask like why you want to go to Korea, why we should choose you over others, okay, introduce yourself, like just general questions that I was considering, because my documents were saying everything about my knowledge. So I thought that now I should not focus on those documents or my study plan and anything. I should mainly focus on these general questions, because they can they might ask these questions. So that's how I went there. But trust me, they were so stressed environment. Everyone was so busy in studying. Like there was a guy who was asking, okay, now it's your turn, and the guy was moving, then they ask another, it's your turn now. Like there were 4 or 5 rooms, and every room has 2 people taking the interview. One of them was pretty Indian and the other one is like Asian. I don't know whether he was a Korean or not, but because he was speaking Hindi, so I can say that maybe he was somewhere from like any Asian country who can speak Hindi, like maybe the Nepal or like any nearby country. So yes, so in the room there were 2 people. I went inside. The first question they asked me was like, are you Sanjay? I said yes, I am Sanjay. So they questioned about my grades. So my grades were like 9.79, 9.8. I don't remember actually, 9.8 something. Yes, it was over 9.8 something. So they asked me like, you got 9.8. So that was the first question they asked me and made me nervous. So yes, I said yes, it's my grade. So he said okay then said, and that put me too much pressure at that time. There were I think 2 air conditioners in the room, but I was sweating so hard. So yeah, I still have those memories when I was too stressed, and that was a stressful day of my life, I remember. And yes, and then I was expecting he will ask me to introduce myself or asking me about myself. He didn't ask anything about me. He was not at all concerned about my introduction or who am I, from where I'm coming from, like this. So he directly asked me, what is your favorite subject? And I was like, okay, bacteriology is my favorite subject. And that time I was damn nervous. Trust me, bacteriology is not my favorite subject. I just said it that time. And then he started asking question, what is bacteriology? I said, oh come on, it's so cheap question. I tried to reply that question, and then he asked like how you can isolate the bacteria and the general questions like that. And I still remember he was asking everything related to my background only. He didn't go anywhere else. Like there were 2 things. Some questions were from my background study, what I already did, and some questions are from my study plan, what I want to do. They were not at all looking at any document I brought with me that time. They were asking me directly, okay, what do you want to do in future, like this. I don't think they even read those papers what I sent to the MHRD, like this. So yeah, that's how they asked me so many questions. Like for me, my future goal was in the field of probiotics. So I told them that I'm interested in probiotics. Then they started questioning about probiotics and other fields related to probiotics, like this. But trust me, there was no question related to any other field. So whosoever is worried that what the people can ask, they will just ask you the content related to your past studies and the content you want to study. I don't even think that anyone can ask what you want to do in future, like what will be your contribution to your country, like they ask in the form. So I don't think those questions are important at this point of time, because I think these questions are only used for screening you at that point of time before interviewing you. And if they are inviting you for interview, they will just ask you about the subjective things. Like yesterday there was one girl in the WhatsApp group who was telling that when she went for the interview, they asked her to introduce herself in Korean. That's something I don't know why these guys are expecting if someone can speak in Korean that time. Like me too, I went to the interview. I didn't know anything about Korean language that time, like zero knowledge, and as well as I didn't have any English language certificate. No IELTS, no TOEFL, anything. I had nothing. So I don't know why those people ask this girl like this. But yeah, in India I don't think anyone is going to ask you to speak in Korean or something like this. Although I saw so many people before going into the room, I saw so many people outside who were studying like Korean. They had some kind of page and written like some 3 or 4 lines in Korean, so that they were cramming like very hard. You know Indian competition, right? How those people were so worried, and that's how they were preparing for the interview. But me, I went blank. I had just my grade the mark sheets and everything. I had only those documents. I didn't know anything. I didn't have any publication. There were some people who were asking me about if I had any published paper or not, or if published papers can help to get selected or not. Trust me, I don't know if they will help you to get selected, because I didn't have anything. So I can say that it doesn't matter at all, because I didn't have it. So if you have the confidence in you, if you have the enough knowledge of your past studies, and if you have the knowledge of your future studies, and if you have proper a goal, so I don't think they are gonna ask you anything about why you didn't publish any paper, like you are going for PhD, you are going for masters. I'm not sure. Okay, after this they asked me some more questions. I think they asked like 5 questions in general, and those 5 questions had some like branches. Like in one question they asked me 3 or 4 questions, so overall can be 20 or 25 questions they asked me that time, and I was able to answer like 19 or 20 questions. All were related to my subject, and all were subjective questions, nothing related to my personal life and any other field. So yeah, that's all they asked me. And I remember the last question they asked me was about some intestinal microbiome, how to calculate the I don't remember the actual question, but something like this. So yes, I remember this moment, because that was like kind of embarrassing moment for me, because I didn't know the answer that time. So they said, okay Sanjay, now you can go. So I felt so embarrassed, and then I stood up and I was walking towards outside, and I left the room. But then then the answer came in my mind. Okay, I can answer this like this. Then I went again and then told those guys. So they were writing my name on some paper, and they laughed on me that time. So I told the answer that time, and they wrote my name on some paper. So I remember my mom just called me that time, and I told my mom that, Mom, they have written my name on some paper. I don't know if that name was in the list of the people who were who will be selected, or the people who surely gonna be rejected. So I told my mom, and I was damn nervous. That time you had to submit all the documents after the interview. So trust me, at that time I didn't want to submit my documents, and I was so exhausted from the interview, and I was thinking, oh god, this was a pretty big and nice scholarship, and I lost it, and I didn't want to submit the documents. But then I thought like, okay, I came so far, so I should do the procedure well. So I just submitted the documents. And yeah, that's how the interview went, and I came back home. Okay, so after like 15 or 20 days, I think that those guys, they sent me an email, and the same kind of notification is produced on the MHRD website, like the number of selected student for the KGSP program that time. So I went through the list, and I found my name. It was on the top. The first was Sanjay, so I was damn happy that time. So yeah, that's all about the interview process. That's how it went. Okay, so there are 2 or 3 things you should consider in this video. Is like, first, find the location of MHRD office before going there. If you get selected for the interview, please, before going to the office directly, please find the location first properly, and ask if you have any friends staying in Delhi. The second thing is, please go with full of confidence. Don't hesitate. Even if you don't know the answer, even if you don't know anything about the question, just try to to answer each and everything with full of confidence, even if you don't know it. I think that matters a lot. Like, there were some questions that I didn't even have idea about, but yes, I got selected. So I don't know what those guys are actually searching for, but yes, if you go with full of confidence, I feel that you can get selected. And the third thing is, there are some people who were asking me about what if they are changing the field, like if they have different field in the bachelor and they want to do in the different field in the master. So I think you can opt any field, but just be prepared if you are changing your field for masters or PhD. Like, those guys can ask you why you are changing the field, so you should have a genuine answer that can satisfy your requirements for the scholarship. So if they feel you are genuine and you want to do something in the new field that can make some impact on your life, on the on your life, so yes, they will consider your application and they can select you. So please be prepared with everything, and go with full of the confidence. Yeah, that's all about today. And if you guys have any question, please leave it into the comment section or contact me through the WhatsApp group. And thank you for subscribing. And for those people who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe my channel. I'm a new YouTuber and I want your support, to share my experience with other people. So please increase our family, and like the video if you like the video, share with your friends, and please press the bell icon so that you can get the notification whenever I upload the new video. Okay, so from this video I thought I'm gonna make a aim for the likes and the subscriptions. So if I get like 30 more subscribers after this video, I'm gonna make another video and like where I will try to explain how much you're gonna get the scholarship, and is that scholarship is enough to survive in Korea, and what else you can do with the scholarship. So this is kind of interesting thing, I think you guys want to know. So I'm gonna explain this video next, this in my next video. So if you guys want the new video, please raise the subscriber to 1430 subscribers. And okay, let's aim for 50 likes for this video. I already have more than 50 people in my WhatsApp group, so I think I can get 50 likes easily. So yeah, that's all about today. Thank you for watching.